What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again with another episode of the Hate It or Love It podcast. And as you guys can see in the title today, I will be ranking JoJo's projects from my least favorite to my favorite. And this was the fun episode that I was talking about this week that I wanted to do. You know, it's kind of crazy that I only done a few rankings so far. I've done Drake, I've done Kendrick, J. Cole, and Rod Wave. But I'm like, as much as I love JoJo, I haven't even ranked her albums yet. So that's what I'm doing today. And okay, I have to speak on it. As of me recording this last night was the Super Bowl. So let me just say, we lit out here. Like, if you've been following me for a while, y'all know that I live in South Jersey, very close to Philly. So definitely the Eagles is our team. And personally, me, while I don't have much of a dog in the race because I don't watch the NFL like that, to be honest, I do wind up rooting for the Eagles just because I know when they win, it's always lit in the city. People always have good energy and they always want to party. So really, I'm just rooting for them to win just for that, just for the aftermath, for the parties and the stuff like that. So yeah, congrats to Philly for winning. And then Kendrick, man, some of my predictions came true. A lot of them wasn't true, but some of them came true. And just to give a quick thought on his performance so that we can get the JoJo. Just quick thoughts on his performance. It wasn't the best halftime show, in my opinion. I definitely say I enjoyed some of the other halftime shows in the past over this one. Michael Jackson's, Usher's was a really good one, The Weeknd. But is it top 5 in my opinion? Hell yeah. The symbolism, of course, with Kendrick. And that's something I didn't really, in my last episode, I didn't speak on how political this performance was probably going to be. I didn't, think about it in that way, but it's Kendrick. I should have thought about it in that way. He did perform Not Like Us. He didn't hold back. I thought that if he was to perform it, I thought he would censor out a lot, and I thought he wouldn't say Drake's name, but he was teasing. And when he said Drake's name, you should have saw me and my brother's faces. We looked at each other, and he was laughing because I didn't believe that he would actually wind up saying it, but he did not hold back. I mean, he couldn't say the word pedophile, but besides that, he did not hold back. So I definitely say, not the best Super Bowl performance, but definitely a top 5 in my opinion. And Kendrick put on a pretty damn good show. And, like I said, I'm going to keep this quick. This is probably one of the last things I'm going to say about it. But I've seen a few people say that they didn't like it. And I'm not even I'm not trying to be biased here. I'm being for real. A lot of the people that I saw didn't like it are, I'm just going to call it how I see it. Big ass Drake fans. The biggest Drake fans are the ones I see that says that this performance is bad. Where it's all right, y'all, I get it. He dissed your boy on live TV. I know it had to hurt seeing hearing a whole stadium full of people scream A minor. But look, you can still respect Kendrick as an artist, no matter what side you were on, Kendrick or Drake. At the end of the day, this was a great beef for the culture. This was a great battle, for just rap in general, because truth be told, no matter who won, it wound up being one of the biggest things to happen for hip hop when everybody was saying that hip hop was slowly dying. So, this is more than Kendrick and Drake, in my opinion. These two engaging in this battle last year got people really rapping again, got lyricists back in the forefront and stuff like that. So that's all I got to say. Even if you don't like Kendrick, you gotta at least respect what this means for hip hop. So yeah, great performance. Kendrick really did his thing. And personally, me, now obviously he's about to go on this tour with SZA. So, it's kind of hard for me not to expect him not to play Not Like Us. during this tour. But honestly, after this moment, we need to stop talking about the battle so damn much. We need to, put this whole shit to rest. Let Kendrick move on with his career. Let Drake move on with his career and whatever lawsuits and whatever the fuck. I'm not saying that both of them are beating it to a dead horse or anything like that. Like, I'm not saying that they beating it, but it's like after this, Kendrick, you did your thing. It's time to move on from it. And I'm not just putting it on Kendrick. I'm also putting it on Drake. Drake, this sissy behind lawsuit that you got going on, I've been told you should have moved on. But like, now that the Super Bowl is done, let's try to move on from it. Like I said, obviously Kendrick's going to perform it at his tour, but like, that's just, a tour performance. Like, that's nothing. So guys, in the grand scheme of both of y'all careers, let's move the hell on. Cause like, I'm kind of getting done talking about this battle, but for me, this Super Bowl performance was the end of this battle for me. Like, don't expect me to keep talking about Kendrick versus Drake. Like, this is done for me now that the Super Bowl is over. Now that we got that last big performance and Not Like Us, this is personally done in my eyes, and I hope the rest of media is gonna follow suit, but we're gonna see. Like I said, this isn't a Kendrick episode. This is more about JoJo. It's just, I know that my audience that tunes in regularly, that listens to me talk about music, I know y'all wanted to hear my opinion on it, so I just had to say that. But all right, y'all, let's get into this JoJo ranking. And if you've seen my other rankings, then you already know how I do this. Personally, me, I use Apple Music, so I only rank the projects that are on Apple Music. I start from my least favorite, go to my favorite, say like some of my favorite songs on there, and say why it's not ranked higher than another, and all that. Now, JoJo is an artist that I'm gonna keep it real. JoJo makes a lot of R&B and pop songs. And personally, me, I'm more of a fan of R&B JoJo than pop JoJo, and I feel like my list is pretty much going to reflect that. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I love a lot of JoJo's music. Like, I really love a lot of her music, even the pop stuff. But I will admit, there is some certain pop songs from JoJo that I'm not really a fan of, and I'm always going to give my honest opinion no matter how much I love somebody. So yeah, one final disclaimer before we really get into it. This is not fact. This is not, anything like that. This is just my opinion. I know where I rank albums and stuff like that is probably not where you rank it. So all I'm going to say is I am someone for dialogue and conversation, but just be respectful about it. And honestly, I do these ranking videos to honor, the people that I'm ranking. Like, obviously I'm doing this because I love JoJo. So if you love her too, don't be disrespectful. Just leave your thoughts down below on what albums you would rank where. And just remember, this isn't fact. This is just my personal opinion. So with all that being said, let's get into it. Damn, it's been 8 minutes and we're just now getting into the ranking. All right, let's get into it. At number 7, we have her album Mad Love. And when I said that I don't really like, pop JoJo, I prefer more R&B JoJo, this is the album that I'm talking about, where I say I definitely... And JoJo, if you happen to watch this, I'm sorry. Trust me, I love you. You're going to get so much more compliments after this point. But like, yeah, Mad Love is easily my least favorite album from her because it really does go more into the pop side. There's 15 songs on this album, and truth be told, like I said, JoJo, I love you, so don't take this to heart. I only really like 6 songs from this album. Like, I only go back to 6 songs. That's, I guess you could say, slightly more than half, but like, that's really not good when there's like almost a whole other half that I don't really like on the album. But the songs that I do love, and no, love, like, these are really good songs to me. Music, F Apologies featuring Wiz Khalifa, Fake Ass Bitches. I don't know why I read it like that. But Fake Ass Bitches featuring Remy Ma, Mad Love, Like This, and Rise Up. I definitely love Music and Rise Up. Like those are the main two that I'm always going back to repeat and listen. And I'm not gonna lie, like when I first started the album, and no, like I said, when I get into an artist, I like to listen to their discography in order. So it's no surprise if you've seen past episodes that her first two albums are albums that I very much love a lot. So for me to go on to this third album and then to hear an intro like Music, like that is a straight R&B song. Like Music is very much R&B. So I'm sitting here thinking that I'm going to get, more of the type of style that Music was. Then it just goes straight pop for almost the rest of the album, and I'm like, oh boy. But like I said, there is still some pop songs on here that I like Rise Up, straight pop song, but I like that. Like This, straight pop song, but I like that. Fuck Apologies and Fake Ass Bitches, like that's more of like a rap pop sounding sound, but like there is still bright spots on this album. So that's why I'm saying, like, despite me not really being a big fan of this album, like the songs that I like on here are songs that like I really love. So that's why I'm saying, like, this one really isn't for me. I wouldn't say it's a bad album. I would just say that it's more just not for me because I'm not too big of a pop person. But like, and I mean, when I say pop person, I mean like straight pop. Like if it's like R&B-ish pop, if it's like rap pop, like, okay, I can get with that. But if it's like straight up pop, like, that's just not me. So if that's your type of sound, like if what I'm describing sounds more like your type of thing, then yeah, definitely go check out this album. But for me, it just wasn't my type of thing. But I will say, like I said, the songs that are like highs on here are like really high, like really good highs. So yeah, like I said, 7, Mad Love, didn't love it. It's just an alright album. At number 6, we have Good to Know. I think this is her 4th album. Yeah, this is her 4th album right after Mad Love. So yeah, this one is definitely more of an R&B sounding album. So hence I like this one a lot more. Yeah, some of my favorite songs on here, Lonely Hearts, whether it's the solo or the Demi Lovato version, even though I kind of do prefer the solo version slightly over the Demi version, but either way, both great versions of the same song. Think About You is another one that I really like a lot. Kiss is probably my favorite song from the whole album. Come Back, same case with Lonely Hearts. I can listen to the Tory Lanez or the solo version, but I do prefer the solo version. But yeah, Good to Know, really great album. It's just the reason that it's lower here is just because, like I said, it's a great album, but like I just prefer the other albums over this one better. The best way I can describe this album is like it is a good album, but like there's not enough standout songs for me to like put this over any of the other albums. Like the other albums, either they have a lot more standout songs, or either like I just straight up love every single song on the album. So Good to Know is a really good album. It's just the other albums just has more songs that I would just go back to listen to more. But if I had to recommend any songs on here, like I said, Come Back, Lonely Hearts, either the solos or the featured versions, Think About You, and Kiss. Definitely Kiss. Like Kiss is a banger. I'm surprised. Well, when I say banger, not a banger in the traditional sense, but like I'm surprised that Kiss didn't become like a radio hit. Like I feel like that was probably one of the best hits from the album. But yeah, number 6, Good to Know. If you don't listen to the whole album, at least check out the songs that I named. So yeah. At number 5, we have December Baby, which is her Christmas album. Where is this in her discography? Funny enough, this is her sixth album. One, two, three, four. No, this is her fifth album, right after Good to Know. So yeah, it's just funny that as far as her second half of her career, it just keeps getting better and better. But yeah, December Baby. Like like I said with the last one, good album, just doesn't have as much standout tracks as the other ones like farther on the list is. And besides, this is a Christmas album, so like you get a lot of the regular like Christmas songs that you expect on there, but you do get some, original songs. One of my favorite original songs on here is, of course, Wish List. I'm pretty sure a lot of people like that one, especially since that got the dot next to it, letting you know that it's a hit. But yeah, it's a pretty good Christmas album. You get a lot of the regular Christmas songs, a couple of originals, but it's just a Christmas album. So yeah, it was good. It just, the other ones obviously stand out more for me. So I would say listen to this one around the holidays. Some of the original songs do sound good, like regardless of whether it's Christmas time, but like it's a Christmas album, so it still has those Christmas references. So if you're someone that can listen to Christmas music outside of the holidays, then go ahead and listen to it. But if you're someone like me who really is only going to listen to this during the holidays, then yeah, definitely check it out when holiday season comes back around. All right, now this is where we get into absolutely love territory. At number 4, we have Not Gonna Lie, or, for short, NGL, her brand new EP that she literally released a couple of weeks ago, and basically the EP that inspired me to actually make this episode. But yeah, man, this is the JoJo that I love. Like when I say straight R&B JoJo, now don't get me wrong, there is a few pop records on here, but for the most part, this is a straight R&B EP. You got 8 songs on here. I mean, technically, I would really say only 6, because you got Porcelain and then the Porcelain Reimagined version, which basically the same song, is just one is more definitely pop sounding, and then the Reimagined version is like a slower R&B type sounding version. And then Off Again, which is a very, very short intro. But yeah, man, I love pretty much every song on here. You got Off Again, Nobody. I love that song. Too Much to Say is like one of her best singles in my opinion, like of her whole career. Like I said, Porcelain, Ready to Love, Start Over, Our Last Time, which Our Last Time is like throwback R&B sounding. So yeah, if you want more of a R&B like JoJo sounding EP, then definitely check this one out. Only eight songs, 22 minutes. Like it's really short, but the standouts for me, even though I named almost every song on here, the standouts for me are Nobody, Too Much to Say, Ready to Love, and Start Over. Like this EP is amazing, man. EP is amazing. Every day on my Instagram, I've been like sharing songs on here because I'm like, come on, it's a short EP. You guys got time to listen to it. Like, come on. So yeah, if there's any project that I recommend off of this, off of this video, I definitely say this one is probably the shortest of all the ones that I've named, like that I'm talking about on this video. And also, her tour that I think starts today or starts pretty soon. I don't know. Around the time that when I record this, she's about to go on tour for this EP. So I definitely say check this one out. And if you guys are able to hit, a tour stop, definitely go check it out. The tickets are only like $50. Well, I don't know about other venues, but at least I know in Philly it's only $50. So here I am promoting her show too. That just shows how much I love this EP. But yeah, just check out the EP. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, NGL, Not Gonna Lie, at number 4. Now let's move on to the next one. At number 3, we have her sophomore album, The High Road. Look, even though I love JoJo throughout her whole career, there's just something about like early JoJo, and when I say early JoJo, I mean like her first 2 albums JoJo. Bro, The High Road, like this and her first album, full of straight bangers. Look, I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. I love the whole project. Like, I like every single song. But if I had to say standouts, I'd be pretty much reading damn near the whole track list. So I'm gonna try to only name a few, but not the whole track list. This time, Too Little Too Late, of course, is her biggest song of her whole career. So, like, that needs no introduction. Anything is literally my favorite song, like, from her in general. Like, of all the songs, Anything is my favorite song from her in general. You got Like That, not the Kendrick, but you got Like That, Good Old, Let It Rain, I Can Take You There, that's a bonus track, and then Get It Poppin' is another bonus track. But like I said, I love every single song on this album. Those are just the ones that I go back to the most. And yeah, The High Road, just such an amazing album, bro. Like, when you talk 2000s, when you talk like early 2000s, or this came out in 2006, so I guess you could say mid 2000s. But when you talk like 2000s R&B albums from like teen stars and stuff like that, you gotta talk. Like, I feel like this is the album you gotta talk about. Like, JoJo really did her thing with this one. And funny enough, even though I like her first album better than this one, I feel like this one, JoJo took a lot of what worked with her first album and expanded on it with this one. So I know that sounds very backwards considering that I like the first album better, but trust me, you guys will get it if you listen to both albums, especially back to back. Now, one thing I'm going to say is, and like I said, I'm always going to be honest. So JoJo had label issues, and I guess it resulted in her not being able to be paid off people like streaming and listening to the original versions of the album. When you go to Apple Music, you guys will see like there's the original versions that you can click on, on her page. But then if you scroll under and you go to other versions, like you got the 2018 version. Personally, me, I do prefer the way that she sings and her vocals on the original version, but because I am a big supporter of JoJo and I obviously want her to be compensated for her work, I do try to stream the 2018 version just as much. So while that's personally what I do, I listen to the originals more and then I try to listen to the 2018 version as much as possible. I'm going to tell you guys to go listen to the 2018 version because we got to be supporting JoJo out here. We got to make sure she's compensated for the music that she be making. So yeah, little hypocritical, but hey, what can I say? I prefer the originals. I know there's a lot of fans that prefer the 2018 version. We all have our preferences, but at the end of the day, we need to be supporting JoJo. So I'm gonna tell y'all to go listen to the 2018 versions, and I'll be over here streaming both versions. But yeah, number 3, The High Road. Now at number 2, this one may surprise y'all, or maybe not, since there's only 2 more projects left and she really only has like 7 projects. But all right, on to number 2. At number 2, we have her 6th album. Well, I call it her 6th album. She says it's an EP, but it's 12 songs. This is basically, album length. It plays out like an album. But yeah, at number 2, we have her 6th album, Trying Not to Think About It. And man, yo, I love this EP. I'll respect what she says. I love this EP, Trying Not to Think About It. What I love about this so much is that one thing with JoJo is like she'll make the regular R&B sounding songs, lovey-dovey songs and stuff like that, but JoJo, she openly is an artist that talks about her struggles, struggles with life, struggles with mental health, and she's not afraid to touch on those subjects throughout her album. Like, most R&B artists, their songs are just full of love songs or breakup songs and stuff like that. JoJo likes to switch it up, here and there. And this album is pretty much mostly full of mental health, advocacy and stuff like that. That's why I love this album so much, because look, I don't stray away from talking about it on my podcast or on my channel. You know, I deal with depression. I'm definitely a big advocate for mental health and stuff like that. Like, that stuff I feel like people need to be talking about. And for her to like dedicate a whole album to it, I feel like is such an amazing thing that she's done. Standout songs to me: Anxiety, Berlinda's Theme, which I love that she gave a persona to her anxiety. Dissolve, BID, Bringing It Down, Feel Alright, Fresh New Sheets, Spiral Season. Worst, I assume, is a fucking banger. How is this song not popular? I mean, it is popular, but I mean, like, you know, to the mainstream, like, how? Lift is a great outro. Just this whole project, I just feel like you really need to listen to this whole project, especially if you're someone that's big in mental health. Definitely listen to this project. And it's not just all about mental health. Like, she does relate it back to relationships and stuff like that at certain points, but for the most part, this album is a very personal album. So I definitely say check it out. If how I described it is, you know, your type of thing, or if you're someone that's big into conversations on mental health, definitely listen to this album. It's very much a personal one, and it's one that I feel like, even though it's a very personal one to her, I do feel like it's something that connects with a lot of people. So yeah, just definitely check it out. And when I go to her tour, I hope she performs a lot of these songs, because look, I'm just gonna fanboy a little bit. Last year was the year that I really deep dived into JoJo's music. I really became like a big fan of hers. So this Not Gonna Lie tour is gonna be my first time really like seeing her. Well, I wasn't really that big of a fan of her before this, so this is gonna be the first tour where like I'm a fan of hers. I'm going to see her live, and it's like I really hope to hear like some of the songs from this album. Like, I need to hear some of these songs live. But all right, y'all should already know what's number one. Let's get to it. And at number one, we have her debut album, her self-titled JoJo, which came out in 2004. And when I say that I love pretty much every song on this album, I dead ass mean it. There's only one song I don't like on the album, and that's Yes or No, which, funny enough, when I read her book, Yes or No is the first song that she wrote for this album. So it's kind of funny that I didn't like the first song that she wrote. But besides that, yo, and I know that sounds crazy. Like, I'm sitting here praising, trying not to think about it, and I said that I like every song on that album. So you guys might be wondering, well, if you like every single song on that album, why did you pick this one as your number one? And that's just because the highs on this album is so much more higher for me. When I say that I love JoJo's music, most of my favorite songs from her whole career is on this first album. Look, I can sit here and tell y'all which ones are my favorite, but then I'd be reading the whole damn track list. Basically, every song besides Yes or No is my favorite song. Like, I love this whole album wholeheartedly. You got Breezy, Baby It's You, Not That Kind of Girl, the Happy Song, Homeboy, City Lights, Leave, Use My Shoulder, Never Say Goodbye, Weak, a cover from the SWV song, Keep On Keeping On, Sunshine, and Fairy Tales. Look, I could sit here and tell y'all why I love each and every single one of these songs. Not That Kind of Girl, even though I'm not a girl, it's still a banger in my eyes. The Happy Song, I talked about it in my Apple replay last year. The Happy Song is like such an infectious song. Like, no matter what type of day I'm having, when I listen to that song, I just automatically feel better. Homeboy is a cool song. City Lights, you know, a little something to get you up to dance and whatever. Use My Shoulder and Keep On Keeping On. I love how those are songs that, like, because JoJo doesn't hide the fact that she used to be, you know, poor before she really got on, and Use My Shoulder and Keep On Keeping On are like songs where she lightly touches on those experiences, especially Keeps On Keeping On. Never Say Goodbye is a fucking wedding song. I said that in my replay video. At 14 years old, this girl JoJo made a wedding song for me. Like, I gotta play this song at my wedding. Her cover of Weak is amazing. Sunshine, and then Fairy Tales. Look, when you go through so many failed relationships and situationships, look, when you just have so many failed dating situations, Fairy Tales is definitely a song that you can relate to, no matter if you're a man or woman or boy or girl. I feel like, Fairy Tales is a song that you can relate to. So yeah, man, this album, this album is amazing. Of all the albums I would recommend from her, definitely this one. And also, same case as with the High Road, she re-recorded this version so that she re-recorded this album in 2018 so that she could get paid from the songs and whatever. So I'm like I said with the High Road, I listened to both versions, but I'm going to tell y'all to listen to the 2018 version first, or at least listen to the 2018 version first so that she can be compensated, for the streams and stuff like that. But yeah, man, look, if I had to recommend any album from her, actually low-key I would recommend Not Gonna Lie, but this is up there for albums I would recommend. I would definitely say if you're going to do it the same way that I did, then yeah, this is her first album, so of course you're going to listen to this one first. But if I was to just give recommendations, I would say Not Gonna Lie, Try Not to Think About It, and then listen to this, because this is an amazing album. But I feel like Not Gonna Lie and Try Not to Think About It, especially now that she's older, those albums definitely fit more of the artist that she is now. But this album definitely laid the groundwork. Like, even though I do feel like those albums fit her more now, you can still hear the artist that she would eventually become on this album. So yeah, definitely check this one out. So yeah, that's all her albums ranked. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it's a little different than a lot of the past few episodes I've been doing recently, but like I said, man, I do like to do ranks, and I like to have more fun episodes, sometimes. Yeah. As far as how I recommend listening to her music, like I said, either go in order of, her discography. That's how I like to do things. Or if you're going to, take a different order or just go out of order, like I said, Not Gonna Lie, Try Not to Think About It, and then her original album, and then the rest of the albums, you can go however you want, but that's just my recommendation. But either way, if you just check out JoJo after this music, then that's a win in my book, because I feel like she definitely deserves to be back in the mainstream like she used to be back in the 2000s. Like, I'm tired of only her being referenced and not be, up there with the Ariana Grandes and yeah, all I can really compare her to is Ariana Grande, because like, what other not to bring race into it, but like, what other white girls is really doing R&B justice nowadays? So yeah, we just need to get JoJo back up there and stop making people think of Siwa every time we say JoJo. But yeah, like I said, just check her out. If you guys like what you hear, definitely look out for her tour dates, because she's going on tour. We got to build her back up. So yeah, besides JoJo, I also want to say shout out to the new subs. I've been seeing a lot more subs, a lot more views for these past few weeks and stuff like that. Shout out to y'all. I'm still going to try to be consistent with y'all. Like I said, man, consistency, building, that's all I'm about this year, and that's what I hope the rest of y'all is about. So next week, I don't really know what I'm gonna talk about next week, but I guess things are gonna pop up. We'll see. But yeah, I ain't gonna keep y'all going for any longer. Like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Check out JoJo. I know this is different than a lot of what the newer subscribers were probably expecting, but like I said, check out JoJo. Thank you guys for checking out the pod, or checking out the rest of my content. You already know, just showing support is good enough for me. So yeah, with all that being said, Tevin Jameer signing out. I'll catch y'all next week. Peace.